And I think these are my final few images. And I just, as I draw to a close with them, I'll just share one or two things that people said to me, and there's a lot more in the report at the back. But one person said to me, please tell the world about the conditions both facing the Rohingyas in Burma and facing refugees in Bangladesh. We have no schools, we have no medical treatment, we are struggling to survive. That image again, I think, again sums up the situation. This is the mother of that child holding the child. I want to show you that image once again. Some of the refugees said to me, we cannot go back to Burma, where can we go? And I already mentioned that the authorities in Burma say you're Bengali, Bangladeshis say you're from Burma. They are trapped in this ridiculous situation. And I think at the heart of all this is the need for Burma, where the Rohingya people come from, where they have lived for generations, where people like Khin were born. They have the right to live in their country with equal rights, along with all the other peoples of Burma. And I'm really pleased that there are people here who are Karen, Kachin, Chin, Shan, Burmese, and others. And I think the more we can do to work together and to recognise that we all, you all, but I say we all because we're in this struggle with you, we all have only one enemy, and that is the regime. And we all have the same enemy, and that is the regime. And the more we can recognise that, and recognise that what we are fighting for is democracy and human rights. And surely, if those values mean anything, then they must be universal, and that a Rohingya is as entitled to citizenship and to basic human rights as anyone else. I'm going to leave on a slightly lighter note, and those of you who've heard me speak before know I often use this, but I think it is a good way to leave some challenges for all of us and to conclude this session. I've, through working on Burma, become a bit of a Bob Dylan fan. And I'm not about to do a Bob Dylan impersonation, but I think that in his song, Blowing in the Wind, he asks these basic questions that are very appropriate tonight. How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? And what I saw on the Bangladesh-Burma border, and what I've seen throughout my many travels to other parts of Burma, is that too many people have died. The people of Burma, including the Rohingyas, have been denied freedom for too long. The world has turned its head and says it doesn't see. And our challenge now is to wake the world up and make them look, and more importantly, make them act. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ben, for very informative sharing of your experience in Rohingya refugee camps in Bangladesh. And I hope people interested in your presentation, and then if you would like to know more, there are reports available on the desk there. Or you can contact Ben through his website or his work website. There will be more information. Our next speaker is Farmaner. If we were in Burma now, he would be the first person to be arrested or killed by the military regime. But thankfully, we are not in Burma right now. We are in London. He is the director of the Burma Campaign UK, and for many years, he's been working with BC UK, struggling for freedom, for human rights, for democracy and development for all the people in Burma. When he was 17, he already involved in the struggle for human rights, together with South African campaign for the anti-apartheid campaign movement. And he continued the struggle with Burma now, and we are very pleased to have him as one of our guest speakers today. And Please welcome Farmaner.
Well, it's a nice introduction, thank you. You might not be so pleased. Last year when I went into the British Foreign Office for a meeting and I met with this official there, and I walked in and sat down at the table and he sighed. And he said, every time you ask for a meeting, it means you want something. You want us to do something, and that's going to involve work for us, and usually quite a lot of work. And that's my role for you today, to talk about what we do about the situation here. We've heard from Khin and Ben about the situation there. Khin has talked a bit about some of the action that needs to be taken. It did seem earlier this year that there might actually be an opportunity for action and for the world to pay attention to what's going on with the Rohingya. Front page news all over the world when Thailand towed out the boat people and left them to die on the ocean. Asian countries seemed outraged at what had happened, what Thailand had done, but also attention started to turn to why were the Rohingya fleeing in the first place. And it really did seem, just for a week or two, like there might be some really serious attention paid to this issue. But then it was shunted into what's called the Bali process. The Bali process is a process in Asia where they deal with trafficking. So the Asian nations decided that this was not a problem of human rights abuses, forcing people to flee their country. It was not a problem of neighbouring countries then committing further human rights abuses in the way that they treat the Rohingya refugees, but it was just a technical issue of traffickers. So there was no serious action taken at all. And when the summit was discussed, the regime still denied that Rohingya people even existed. So there was no serious challenge to the regime. And so the Rohingya are left with facing appalling human rights abuses at home, as we've heard about, and then they're given no sanctuary abroad in whatever country they flee to. So I think, as well as us learning about the situation today, we also have to decide what we're going to do about it. For those of us that don't know much or are not involved in these issues, that have come here tonight and now know something, if you go home and don't do anything after this meeting, you might as well not have been here at all. It's really important that we go away and we do something practical. Now, I'm going to ask you for one practical thing straight up, and that is, before you leave, make a donation to the Burmese Rohingya organisation. Give Khin, don't weigh him down with heavy coins that he has to carry all the way home. Give him some nice, light paper notes for his organisation so that they can carry on organising events like this. They're also playing a really important role globally in trying to link up with Rohingya people and organisations worldwide to raise awareness in other countries as well. So it's an important organisation, it's doing good work, and it's just starting to build up momentum now and reach out globally. So give them some support financially, preferably paper support, but if you've got coins, that will do as well. Another thing I think you can do is make sure you give your email address to Khin, to make sure that you can stay in touch with the work of the organisation, and so that we can coordinate a bit when things are happening, when there's action needed, that you can hear about it and that you can get involved and you can stay informed about the issue. Don't just leave it for tonight and that's it and hope that there'll be another meeting you can come to in a year's time, but keep updated, keep informed about what's going on. And I think as well, when there's a question and answer session next, I think, as well, let's talk about what practical action we can take, what useful things there are. There's people here that work in advocacy, there's people here that work on the humanitarian side. We're very lucky to have people here that are actually working in Bangladesh, working on humanitarian issues, who've got experience on the ground there. So we can tap into that expertise and we can look at what can we do here in the UK usefully to try and help the situation and do something practical. We need to actually make sure that we've got practical things that we walk away from this meeting with that are going to change things. So you've got the opportunity to ask questions now, but remember, we want practical action as well. So please do stay involved, support the Burmese Rohingya organisation. The Burma Campaign UK will be doing what it can to support the organisation and to raise awareness about the situation and respond to any requests that there are for lobbying governments, for lobbying the UN, for lobbying nation countries to take action as well. We'll be ready to do that. So I hope you'll join with us in providing effective solidarity for the Rohingya people. Thank you.